Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us this Friday on the Noon News. I'm Samantha Sullivan. We begin in Bozeman, where a man is dead after a shooting involving Bozeman police officers. We're told officers responded to a call on Summerview Lane in Bozeman involving a man who was reportedly intoxicated and assaulting his adult male roommate. When officers arrived shortly after 11:45 last night, the roommate was outside, but the suspect was still inside the home and was not cooperating with officers' instructions. A little after midnight, police say the suspect came towards officers out of the house with a hatchet and a handgun. That's when a Bozeman police officer shot and killed the man. Neighbor William Carey says once he heard shots, he looked out the window to see what was going on.
There were several police cars out front, as well as looked like behind the house as well. Officers with the weapons drawn, spotlights on the house, went on for a fair period of time. Didn't really know what was going on, other than obviously something was happening at the house across the street.
No officers were injured. The incident remains under investigation. The search is over, and there is at least some closure for the family of a 3-year-old boy who fell into the Musselshell River. County Sheriff Sean Lesnick says the body of the 3-year-old Bryce Hoffer was found just before 5:30 last night. His body was found about 2,000 feet downstream from where he fell in, east of Roundup at the Kilby Butte Hutterite Colony. Hoffer was walking with his sister late Monday morning when he slipped on the ice and fell into the frigid waters. Multiple emergency responders and community members stepped up, but the search efforts were made difficult due to the cold temperatures and the thick ice. Trained crews, community members, and family were all involved in the search. MTN was talking with one of those family members in Billings as he learned the news.
I've seen his tracks. It's just an honest, tragic accident. He simply slipped off ice into some moving water, and it was over his head at that point. You want to do as much as you can to help the situation out, recover what's lost. Thankfully that was done. Nobody was injured. Now I can just go back to saying some prayers for the family and help them move on with life. This is just a tragic situation.
Now, Bryce is Tom's grandnephew. Tom is an outdoorsman who helped make sure the searchers stayed safe on the river. In other news this afternoon, the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights announced an investigation claiming the Wolf Point School District discriminates against and mistreats Native American students. According to a press release, the investigation comes more than a year after advocates filed a complaint to the DOE on behalf of the Fort Peck, Assiniboine, and Sioux tribes. In the complaint, dozens of Native American students describe harassment by school officials, including more severe punishments than those given to their peers, moving Native American students with disabilities to an alternative program where students went weeks without instruction, and ignoring racial harassment within the school. Late last week, federal officials stated the DOA will investigate those allegations. This announcement was made shortly after the New York Times published a report revealing Wolf Point schools have neglected Native American students and failed to deal with the devastating trend of suicides among local Native American youth. A Missoula man who was exonerated on a rape charge 2 years ago is now suing Missoula County and some of its officials for damages. Coney Marble filed the lawsuit in State District Court on Missoula late Thursday, saying he was wrongly prosecuted. Marble was convicted in 2002 of raping a fellow inmate at the Missoula County Juvenile Detention Center when both were teenagers. He said from the start the crime never occurred and fellow inmates framed him as a form of retribution. But it took Marble 14 years to clear his name. Missoula County Attorney Kristen Pabst decided in 2016 to seek dismissal of that rape charge after her office reinvestigated the case. Marble's lawsuit says county prosecutors and sheriff's deputies botched the investigation 17 years ago by ignoring evidence showing he was innocent. In other news this afternoon, more details on a plane crash near Townsend that critically injured 2 men Wednesday night. Broadwater County deputies are interviewing witnesses trying to find out exactly what happened. Sheriff Wynn Meehan says both men in their mid-30s are from Gallatin County. One of the men was flown to Helena, then on to a hospital in Salt Lake City for treatment. The other was taken to Great Falls. Meehan did not have an update on their conditions. He says the plane took off from Belgrade Wednesday afternoon, then landed briefly at an airstrip near Townsend before it took off again. The small plane hit power lines and crashed into a creek bank several miles south of Townsend. In other news, the Rocky Boy Police Department takes on a new effort to combat illegal drug sales on the reservation south of Havre. The new drug enforcement unit, made up of current patrol officers, will investigate and present federal felony drug cases directly to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The operations began in mid-December. Within the last 2 weeks, the unit has made several arrests, hauling more than 750 grams of methamphetamine, 5.5 grams of black tar heroin, 5 firearms, including an assault rifle, opioid pills, and $11,000 in cash. And we are less than a week away from the 66th legislative session, and we're tracking a proposed measure to stop human trafficking in the state of Montana. But Billings has a big stake in this particular proposed bill because it's designed to shut down the city's illicit massage parlors. Republican Representative Daniel Zolnikov say there are about 15 illicit massage parlors in Billings and a few others in Bozeman, Missoula, and Kalispell. He says these establishments breed human trafficking from unwilling participants. Zolnikov says the root of the bill would go beyond the control of the city law by asking the massage parlors in question to be certified. If they aren't, they would be forced to close, essentially ending any human trafficking from occurring inside the building. He says it would not impact legitimate spas.
Then there's this stain in the whole industry that's the illegal ones. And they're usually not certified because the women are being moved around. So you don't want to go after the women. That is the worst approach. You want to get the business shut down. And to get that business shut down, you have to file an injunction. So you have to find a reason to have the injunction filed.
Zolnikov believes there's a blind eye being turned on the issue of human trafficking in Montana, something he hopes the measure would shed light on. He says something else we'll see this session, bills to address missing and murdered Native American women. Well, now we'll turn things over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, we're coming up on the weekend.
Yeah, we got to lose some of this wind, though, and it's going to be probably just in time, Sammy. Let's go ahead and take a look. Since, well, over really the last 48 hours, we've seen some pretty strong wind gusts. Check out Deep Creek, the Glacier Park area, just a bit south of East Glacier. 103 miles an hour recorded in the last couple of days. East Glacier at 94 miles an hour. And a good portion of north central Montana and portions of even south central Montana seeing some pretty strong wind gusts. Around the Livingston area, we had reports of a jackknife truck, overturned truck from the gusty winds along I-90. High wind warnings remain into effect for north central Montana, but things are starting to ease back a little bit. We'll let you know how that'll affect your weekend weather coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Ed. Sitting at a steady 3.7%, it seems Montana's unemployment rate is at its lowest in over a decade. According to the Office of the Governor, Montana added 7,400 jobs at the end of November. That's a growth of 1.5%. On top of that, Governor Steve Bullock says Montana's personal income growth was the 6th fastest in the nation. Also, average wages have increased by 2.5% in the year. Montana's median house income grew the fastest in the nation, and Montana businesses reached record high exports with more than 5,000 jobs supported. In 2018, Governor Bullock welcomed new businesses into Montana, including Israeli high-tech company Forecast and outdoor media and lifestyle company Meat Eater, Inc. Well, thanks so much for joining us here on the Noon News. 2 weeks into the government shutdown, President Trump plans to meet with congressional leaders to end the standoff. But first, Ed's in with a full look at the weekend forecast. We'll be right back.
Watching MTN News with Samantha Sullivan, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and Farm and Ranch News from the Northern Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.